How do you buy a home? What are the steps? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Buying a home is likely to be the largest purchase we make in our lifetime, and doing so can be rather involved. In today's video, I'm going to give you an overview of the process so you can become more familiar and comfortable as you begin your home ownership journey. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon Pettis, your local Long Beach, California realtor, and on this channel, I give you the information you need so you can make an educated decision when it comes to buying or selling a home. So step one in the process is going to be to meet with a realtor. I know I'm a little bit biased in regards to this, but meeting with a realtor at the beginning can make sure you get started off on the right foot. Having a good buyer's consultation where the realtor goes through the process in full at the beginning can ensure that you're set up for success later on. Step number two, meeting and speaking with lenders. I know I showed my bias in the first step, but if you met with a lender before you met with me, that might be okay too. Getting a good understanding of what you can afford before you go out and start looking for a home is really important. I'd hate for you to be shopping around in the marketplace, find a home that you love, and then later on in the process, discover that you can't qualify for a loan to complete the purchase. Shop around and apply for loans with several lenders so you can try to get the best rates and terms possible. Are you interested in down payment assistance? Well, then include this in your lender criteria so when you're shopping around, you can find a lender that aligns with the programs that you're interested in. Not all lenders participate in these sorts of programs. Make sure you're shopping during a short time frame, 2 to 3 weeks maybe, to ensure that your credit isn't adversely impacted by multiple hard credit pulls. These are some of the documents that you're going to need when you sit down with your lender, so make sure you gather them in advance. A couple of years worth of W-2s and taxes, 2 to 3 months of pay stubs, 2 to 3 months of bank statements. If you click on the link in the description below, you'll be able to download a buyer's guide that has a much more detailed list that will help ensure that you're ready to go with just about any lender. Are you self-employed and don't have some of these documents? Then reach out to me directly and I'll put you in touch with lenders who have programs especially for you. Now the goal here is to get pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. The difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval is a pre-qual is a basic look at your finances, where a pre-approval requires a deeper dive and some verification of your finances and your history. This is really important because in some areas of the country, a pre-approval as well as proof of funds in the bank are a de facto standard when it comes to submitting an offer on a home. Now that you know what you're pre-approved for or what your budget is, you can move on to step 3, and that's searching for a home. I like to have my clients create a spreadsheet with 3 columns. In the first column, you're going to list every possible feature that you can imagine seeing in a home. You're going to label the second column must have. In the third column, like to have. Now, with the whole family involved, you're going to go down the list and put checks in the appropriate column for each item. With your list complete, you're ready to start your home search by finding a neighborhood that you like that has the types of homes that you're interested in at the price point that you can afford. Using the tools at their disposal, your realtor will create a search for you that will email you homes that fit your criteria as they enter the marketplace. Of course, you guys can also continue to do your own home searches on those huge nationally known real estate websites whose names I won't mention here. In addition, if you're seeing signs in the yards and neighborhoods that you're interested in, gather the contact information and pass it on to your realtor so they can call and find out the price and other information about those properties. Also, if you're coming across open houses, please make sure and check them out. Just remember to tell the agent that's on site that you're already working with a realtor. Once you've found a home that you love, it's time to move on to the next step, which is step number 4, and that's to make an offer. Your realtor will work to provide you with the information you need in order to make a successful offer. one of the first things you're going to need to know in order to have an effective strategy is what sort of market you're in. Your realtor is going to help you understand whether you're in a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a balanced or neutral market. Understanding the market you're in is going to be a determining factor in how you craft your offer. The homes that have sold in the area are also going to be a determining factor. Your realtor is going to analyze the marketplace by comparing all of the homes that are similar to the one that you're interested in buying. And they're going to give you what we call a CMA, or a comparative market analysis. The information in the CMA will help you craft a successful offer. Once you arrive at an offer price and terms, your realtor will submit an offer package to the seller's realtor. This offer package will include the residential purchase agreement contract, your proof of funds, and your pre-approval, like we mentioned earlier. There are only 3 things that can happen once the offer is submitted. The seller can accept the offer right away. Woohoo! We move on to the next step. Or the seller can counter the offer, which means they like the offer enough to continue to negotiate, but not enough to sign off on it completely right away. Or the seller can reject or ignore the offer. Now, I believe the last scenario can be avoided altogether if the buyer's realtor speaks with the seller's realtor before submitting the offer. This will give you an opportunity to understand what the seller is looking for in a successful offer. With this information in hand, you and your realtor can write a more compelling offer that is sure to be considered. When the offer is signed by both parties, you have a fully executed agreement, and you can move on to the next step. Step number 5, enter escrow. Escrow is both a process step and an entity here in Southern California. Escrow is an independent third party who works to ensure that the buyer and seller fulfill their parts of the agreement before allowing the transaction to be completed. Escrow gathers all the docs and the funds and holds them in trust until the contingencies and terms are met. This is also the time frame where the buyer is able to do their due diligence, their property inspections, and their review of the seller disclosures. This is also the time where the bank or the lender appraises the property and finalizes the loan. Also, if there are any contractual repairs that need to be made, they'll also happen during this time. So when escrow is open, you as a buyer will submit an earnest money deposit to the escrow company. And then later on in the transaction, as we near closing, they'll collect the remainder of your down payment, of which your earnest money deposit is part. They'll also be gathering all of the costs and fees and taxes associated with the transaction from the lender, the city, county, and state, the title company, and the escrow company, and calculate your closing costs. Ah, yes, the closing costs. Guys, don't forget about the closing costs. While down payment is usually top of mind for most buyers, closing costs are often forgotten. These costs can add up to around 3 to 4% of the sales price, so please make sure that you have these monies set aside. If all of these earlier steps go as planned, we can move on to step number 6, which is closing. You'll do a final walkthrough of the property, making sure it's the same as when you made an offer on it. Or if there are contractual repairs that need to be done, you'll make sure those are complete. You'll sign all of your loan docs. You'll sign your deed. The deed will be recorded with the county. The funds will be dispersed to the seller, and the transaction will be completed or closed. And you'll get the keys to your new home. Congratulations! I hope this overview has given you a new level of knowledge and comfort when it comes to understanding the home purchasing process. Make sure that you click on the description below to download your buyer's guide. And do please hit like and subscribe. If you have any questions or would like a deeper dive into the home buying process, please just reach out to me. I'm Brandon Pettis. See you in the next video.